I'm back at RC Motorhomes because they've got a brand new version of their RC9M. Now the other one that I had on the channel was very popular, so I thought it'd be great to update you with what they've done with this, because they've made quite a few changes. Now on the outside it doesn't look overly different, but the big news is they've raised the floor inside, and what that has done is it meant that all of the engineering areas, things like batteries, water tanks, holding tanks, charging systems, electrics, everything is now inside the vehicle. So basically, whereas it used to be on the chassis underneath, it's now up in here, which means it's heated, it's lit. It means the vehicle will be used in pretty much any conditions. So if you're in icy conditions, you want to take it skiing, for example, your water tanks aren't going to freeze. It makes the whole vehicle a lot more practical, and also a lot more hard wearing, because you're not going to get corrosion and that kind of thing, because everything is effectively inside the vehicle. We'll take a quick walk around the outside and show you a couple of things that are out here first, and then we'll head inside and I'll show you what's different in there. So out here, what have we got? Well, the first thing to mention is there's a keypad. You can see it if I press this. That centrally locks and unlocks the whole vehicle, so you have your own unique code, you hit that, and once it's unlocked, all of this stuff on the outside then becomes unlocked with it. Now this, for example, is an outside entertaining area. So you've got your big TV out here, you've got your Sonos speakers underneath, and this is under protection of this big awning up above. That's a 6.5 metre awning, and it extends about, well, almost 4 metres actually, and you can see it's got all the lighting systems in there as well, which is nice. What else have we got in here? This one here, that's a table. So if you're catering out here, you've got somewhere to put things. And back here, push that, that releases this garage, which is huge. Now there are a couple of different heights for this, and we'll see when we go inside. You can change the bed height, have this a bit lower and make more room above the bed if you want to. But the idea of this is there's room to put motorcycles in here, and that's why it has these for putting the bike wheels into and securing them. What else have we got in here? So we've got shelving here. This is quite neat. What this is a laundry chute. So you can have that comes through from your bathroom. I'll show you on the inside when we go inside. Drop your laundry in there and you can take it out here to go and take it to launder it. And then down here, again, you can see how all the battery systems and things like that are all now inside the vehicle. They're not underneath it. So it's all protected and it's all kept warm and dry. That's a really good improvement. And all of this is heated in here as well. You can see there's a heater outlet here, which is fantastic. That little fella there is an air compressor. So that's that side. Let's carry on around and I'll show you some more of it, but very quickly because it's starting to rain. So around the back here, some really smart lights on here. I like the way they've done that. And this has got the slide out. You can see just here how that comes out to increase the space inside the vehicle when you're stopped. And then down on this side, again, those engineering systems inside the vehicle now. So that's a jet wash system that's permanently mounted. That's the air conditioning systems at the back. And this is the hydraulics. That is for the self-leveling system. So when you park, you've got jacks that come down and level the vehicle. And then this one here is just masses of storage. And again, that's another benefit of this floor being raised up. And those fellows, those are to support the awning if you want to have that fully out and fully supported. Let's drop those back down. And before it starts raining too hard, I'll dash round onto the inside. I'll put these down as well. There we go. Now this all comes out electrically and folds away. And the only obvious difference of the raised floor is it's now 5 steps up into the vehicle, whereas it used to be, I think, 3 or 4. Anyway, let's head on in where it's dry and warm. So I think that was good timing because it's just started chucking it down with rain. But what I think we'll do is head to the back first and then work our way forward. But what I think is important to mention is that this vehicle is hardly any higher than the previous one, and there's still loads of headroom in here despite the floor being raised. There's a little less than there was before, but you're not exactly shortchanged. I'm 6'2" and there's masses. So I think that's been a really worthwhile improvement. Anyway, let's head on back around here. Now this is the main bedroom area. This is what I was talking about when we were in that garage area. So you can have this bed a little bit lower if you want to, about 200 millimeters lower. And that reduces the height of that garage a bit, still perfectly usable. But if you want to get motorbikes in there, then raising this up obviously gives you a little bit more height. But that is still a very decent amount of headroom above the bed. You've got a big opening Skylight up above, and there's blinds that come across here, so you've got privacy. And of course the windows as well have blinds, and there's a 40-inch TV in here as well. And then over on this side, this is your wardrobe. There's storage down here, and so on. So that is a very nice area. I do love the detailing on here. They've done this really nicely. Let's go on back a little bit further. Bathroom is over on this side. So toilet, heated towel rail. This is this laundry chute that I mentioned. So you can drop your towels or your dirty clothing into there, and then it can be taken out from inside and taken to the laundry. Storage in places like this. Nice sink up and behind here as well. All very nicely done. Very good. And then a really good rainfall shower over on this side. You can see that there, and an extractor fan in there as well. That's very nicely done. Awesome. Okay, next thing to greet us is the galley. Now this has got a fridge here and the freezer underneath. This will actually run off the inverter. You don't need to be running the generator to run that. There is a generator on board as well. You can have a larger one if you want. So again, a lot of customization. So if you wanted a bit less storage on this side, this is all cupboards here. You see that's a hanging locker there, and then there's drawers underneath. But if you wanted a bigger fridge freezer there, then you could have it. Then here you've got an induction hob, and this is a combination microwave, conventional oven and grill. So that does it all. And your cutlery drawers underneath. And other bits of storage up in like this. There's an extractor fan underneath there as well. This is rather clever. So you can't get a drawer here because, of course, you need the depth for your sink. But what they have done is they've put this slide out section anyway. This is where the cutout for the waste of the sink is. But the reason that they have done this is so that you can drop that into there. And now, A, you've got somewhere to put that, but B, you've increased your working area for your kitchen. That's rather nifty. Let's put that back and that one away. Another little quarter sink underneath there. And then more big storage underneath. In fact, they've tucked it into pretty much everywhere. Very nice. And then ahead of here, well then this is your lounge area. This is the slide out. This is what we saw from outside when we were on that side of the vehicle. So when you're driving the vehicle, this pulls into about here. And when you're parked, you can slide that out as we've got it at the minute. And that vastly increases your floor area, which is very good. On this side, you've then got more drawers like this. Your TV is here. And that is actually the control for the satellite. If we have a look up on top, you can see it's actually got a satellite receiver up on the top that folds away electrically. In fact, when you turn the ignition on, that all powers away. I wonder if we can do it, because it's quite cool. Let's push that one. Retracting, that sounds good. So it's rotating, so it's level. And there it goes. Very smart. This whole roof section incidentally opens. I'm not going to do it right now for very obvious reasons, but yeah, that all opens, and there again is blinds that come across. That's a mosquito net that way, and then you have a night blind that way. Now another thing worth mentioning here is the fact that you've got obviously two seats up at the front when you're driving. What you can have, it's actually a 4-berth because there's 2 more berths up here. I'll show you those in a moment. So if you prefer, you can have this as an L shape. It comes around here, and then you've got 2 seats forward facing with proper 3-point seat belts. So if there are 4 of you wanting to use the vehicle, then everyone can travel facing forward and properly belted in. And the last thing I'm going to show you in this area, which is rather nice, is this up here. This is a system that controls the whole vehicle. So if we push this button, you can go into that one, and now into the control systems for the vehicle. So control services are here. This is things like the roof window open and close, the van locking and unlocking is controlled from here. The step in and out you can control from here, the awning as well, the slide out, everything really is controlled from this system. And in fact, there are even modes, so you can have a night sleep mode, a living mode, a driving mode, and that configures the lights to a suitable setting for those. What else have we got here? If we go back to main page, we can go into tank levels, for example. You can see how much water, grey water and LPG are on the vehicle. We've got the heating and hot water systems are all controlled from in here. So everything really is controlled from here. Here you've got your solar charging yield, all that kind of stuff. It's all very clever and it's all the switching. But if you ever had a problem with that and you couldn't actually get the switching to work for any reason, well, then you can just open this and you've got backups inside here. You can see here it's all labelled. So for example, if that system stopped working, you wanted to get the step in, you can still do it by using the switch manually from here. So that's a very good backup. Hopefully never need it. Great to know it's there. Okay, let's head on a bit further. This is the double bed up at the front. Very nice size, and that ladder then just clips in so you can get up into there very easily. And in fact, this whole thing will raise up to make it much easier to get into the cab if you want to, but in fact it's not really a huge issue just to duck under it. You can have a sit in here. Now these are suspension seats that are also heated, and I'm going to sit in this one and put the ignition on because there's a couple of other things to show you. This is the Alpine system. It looks like it's flashing, and in fact it's not in real life. That's a bit annoying. That's just fighting with the camera speed a little bit, but that's all your stereo equipment and so on. But what is interesting is up here, because this is a 360 camera system. There's cameras all the way around the vehicle, and you can see that is that road that runs down there. You can see the back of the vehicle here. In fact, there's a trailer that's further back up. You can just about see it. And here, this is like a helicopter shot. The reason you can't see down the right-hand side is because the slide out is out. So what you're actually looking at there is the roof of the slide out. That's why it's all wet. But it's very clever, because even if, for example, you put the indicators on, it will then switch to give you a perfect view down that side of the vehicle, down the left-hand side, because I'm indicating left. If I indicate right, you'll see it switches to the right, and you can see now the roof of that slide out. And the idea of that, so you can check for vehicles, check for bicycles that come up the inside of you and that kind of thing. So that is very, very useful. And then this one here, as I say, is satellite navigation, stereo and that kind of thing. It does look like it's flashing, but it's not in real life. Let's turn that one back off. Now this is fully automatic transmission. It's a ZF gearbox. It's an 8-speed. And down here, this is another interesting thing, because this is switch gear for all your ball corks. So for your fresh water drain, your grey water drain, your black water drain. And that means you don't have to fiddle around with ball valves yourself. You just touch the button and that all happens automatically. And then the last thing to mention is what drives this vehicle. It's got a twin turbo 3-litre diesel. I think it's just over 200 horsepower, if I remember rightly. And that punts it along pretty well. It's actually just over 7 tonne. I think it's 7.2 tonne. So depending on the date of your driving licence, you may be able to drive this on a car licence. I could, because I passed my driving test quite a long time ago. If you passed it a bit more recently, then you do need to get a slight upgrade to an HGV up to 7.5 tonne, and that then gives you a licence to drive this vehicle. So that's it. That's a new RC9M from RC Motorhomes. Very impressive vehicle. I hope you agree. Very much worth a look at, and I like that very much. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do let me know what you think of it in the comments, and do, if you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button, because we've got lots more stuff coming. It'll help the channel and it'll keep you posted of what's coming up. And in the meantime, thanks very much for watching this one. Catch you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.